play a bit.
I need to sound check for you.
Yep. יש פה סאונד מעולה בחדר הזה, אני מת על החדר. לא יודע, האקוסטיקה פה מאוד טובה. אני מאוד אוהב. ככה יצא, שיש פה סאונד ממש יפה. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, wow, I'm going to enjoy this. Thank you.
Thank you. This is Mr. Frank Solomon. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's a real pleasure.
Oh, it's in English. בבקשה. תשמור לי את זה, אני רוצה את זה. אהה. Capitalism. No. But I am happy about it. I love this room. There's a good smell of soap in here. Yeah. תודה חמור.
so funny. That's really funny. I didn't realize. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Question for you. Do you want to light the candle? No. Okay. No. Let me ask Margo.
Oh, that's lovely. That's great. Sasha, would this be in your way? To. Oh, doesn't look like it.
No, you're fine.
Good? You're good. I was just doing a quick level set. It's okay.
Hello.
Say thanks.
Could you hear that?
What's that? What's that? with a wordless melody for the season.
Such a soothing song. I feel like I'm gently waking you all up now. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I am Rabbi Bacon, honored to be here with all of you tonight, those in person and those watching us virtually, and joined in leadership by Cantor Sonnet Asor and our wonderful musicians. We have Pete Malinverni, Jerome Morris, and Idan Santas. Thank you so much for being with us, along with our temple president, Warren Haber. Tonight, we gather for a Shabbat with a special name. It is called Shabbat Shuvah. And Shuvah shares the same root with the word teshuvah, which you've been hearing over and over again these past days of Yamim Noraim. So it would make sense that during this Shabbat that falls between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, this title tells us to elevate this sense of returning, to continue focusing on that teshuvah, that returning, both turning to our best selves, to God, and to one another. So we thought it would be beautiful to start with that sense of turning by having you turn to your neighbor, wish them a Shabbat Shalom and a Shana Tova. So go ahead.
It's a nice group. This is
So now we welcome Shabbat with the beauty of our lights, and we invite the Goldberg family to do that in both word and song.
Shabbat shalom. Shakor.
A ringer? Yes, we did ring in a cantor. Thank you, cantor.
We will continue our service by welcoming in Shabbat in song, L'chu Naranena. Let us lift up a song to the Creator of all. L'chu Naranena.
Page 130.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Prepare to welcome the Sabbath bride, we turn together to page 138 for Lecha Dodi. We'll sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, and at the last verse, I will motion you to rise. Page 138.
Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi. Ya la 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 Likrat Kala. Shamor vezavu v'diburecha hishmianu שמול תפארת בניתי לה יא לה 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 לך דודי יא לה 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 לקראת כלה יא לה 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 בני שבת לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי הנה כל הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה Verse 5 התעוררי כי בעורך קומי אורי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה יא לה 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 לך דודי יא לה 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 לקראת כלה יא לה 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 בני שבת בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצולה תוך אמונה עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה יא לה 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 לך דודי יא לה 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 לקראת כלה יא לה 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 בני שבת
If able, we remain standing, turning to page 146 for our call to prayer.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
Page 150.
Everyone clearly has their voices warmed up from these holidays together, so hope we can sustain that through the rest of these holy days. But my goodness, how good you all sound this evening. אהבת עולם בית ישראל אתה אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו וקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו אהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. אוהב עמו ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
Page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להוד על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
The new year is a great door that stands across the evening, and Yom Kippur is the second door. Between them are song and silence, stone and clay pot to be filled from within ourselves. We will find there both ripeness and rot, what we have done and undone, what we must let go with the waning days, and what we must take in. As the dark new moon of the head of the year begins to wax, may this growing light grant us assurance of this New Year's promise and potential. Page 158.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף מלכותך. ומרים זאלי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Page 160, Hashki Venu, as we seek protection tonight and for the rest of the year.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu Malkeinu L'chaim Ufros עלינו סוכת שלומך ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך והושיענו למען שמך. If Rosh Hashanah is the world's first birthday, then Shabbat Shuvah is the anniversary of the first ever Shabbat. Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa v'hinei tov meod. And the Holy One saw all that was created, and behold, it was very good. The 20th century German Rabbi Leo Beck observes that on Shabbat, we, like God, are artists, stepping back to view the totality of our work. Yet, on Yom Kippur, we will have plenty of time to hold to the microscope all that we wish to repair. Yet equally important is the chance to admire the good, the love that we have grown, the good that we have done, all that we wish to continue to cultivate in this year ahead. Part of knowing that we're capable of growth is seeing just how successful we actually were in the year that was. Let us behold all that we have created. Behold, it was very good. Page 162. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותה, לדורותה ברית עולם.
Page 164.
Adonai Svatai Tiftach Ufi Agim Tehilatecha Ufi Agim Tehilatecha Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Ufi Agim Tehilatecha Ufi Agim Tehilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoteinu ve'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora El Elyon Komel Chasadim Tovim Ve'konei Hakol Ve'zocher Chasadei Avot ve'imahot U'mevii ge'ula livnei bneihem Le'ma'an shemo ve'ahava Chozer u'Moshia u'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah Ata Gibor le'olam Adonai Mechayei hakol ata Rav le'Hoshia Morid hatah הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני המלך הקדוש. We take these next moments for silent meditation.
When you are ready, you may be seated.
Page 178. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol ha-shalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol ha-shalom. B'tov beinecha levarech et amecha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני עושה השלום. So this evening, Rabbi Bacon and I invite you to join us as we explore what may be perhaps a deeper cut from the liturgy of the season. So in cantorial school, we actually spend an entire year on the liturgy of Yom Kippur. And I realize now this is a good answer to my bar mitzvah student yesterday who asked me incredulously, does it really take 5 years to become a cantor? And on the evening of Kol Nidre, following the Vidui, the series of communal confessions, the liturgy provides us with a variety of some of the most beautiful, heartfelt poems about the closeness of the relationship between God and each of us. And we're reminded, we conclude this section by singing Avinu Malkeinu. And we're reminded that Avinu, our parent, the one who knows us better than we know ourselves, always comes before Malkeinu, our ruler, the one before whom we stand in judgment. So this evening we'll spend some time with a poem which imagines us as raw material in the hands of a skilled artist. The poem imagines that the divine is even more involved with our continual growth than a parent is with a child. Because after all, as I'm learning, a parent has only so much influence over their child's development. But here, we are the divine artist's handiwork. We're forever in revision as long as we allow ourselves to be. And perhaps we'll recite this poem stanza by stanza.
We're going to do this in English, so you can follow along on the left-hand side.
Consider the clay in the potter's hand, stretched and rolled as the artist desires. So are we in your hand, our loving protector. Look to the covenant, not to our imperfection.
Consider the stone in the mason's hand, broken or kept whole, as the stone cutter sees fit. So are we in your hand, creator of life and death. Look to the covenant, not to our imperfection.
Consider the iron in the welder's hand, held to the flame or removed at will. So are we in your hand, provider for the poor and afflicted. Look to the covenant, not to our imperfection.
Consider the helm in the seafarer's hand, steering or drifting as the sailor wills it. So are we in your hand, our God of goodness and forgiveness. Look to the covenant, not to our imperfection.
Consider the glass in the glazier's hand, rounded and melted as the artist desires. So are we in your hand, the one who pardons our errors and our wrongdoing. Look to the covenant, not to our imperfection.
So we want to work through this text together with just a few questions. And as we all know, metaphors are used to help us explore concepts on a deeper level, hence the metaphors we are given in these stanzas, giving us new angles of perception. So tonight, we are using this to explore change and teshuvah through the lens of art and artistry. So let's begin with this question, and this is not rhetorical. What are the differences between these materials? And you can just kind of call it out. You can even call out the names of the materials. Exactly. Some are more malleable than others. So clay versus stone, for example. Okay, great. And what are the differences between how each artist shapes each material? What's the process of being shaped? So one is in hands, maybe in loving hands, maybe in rough, cracked hands. What about some of the other materials? Exposed to heat and maybe pressure at the same time. What about a sail? Wind just takes you away. So these are metaphors, exactly like you said, for our receptivity to change, for our malleability. And this paints a picture for us, going back to Leo Beck's quote, if we step back and look at our lives as a bigger picture, it shows us that the things that we can't control, the external factors, are like the ways that these materials are changed. Sometimes they sweep us off our feet, like wind. Sometimes we feel under pressure and heat baking down on us, like fire. And so this gives us language to be able to understand that a little bit better and a little more emotionally.
Maybe we'll move to the next part of this this question, of course, of how we connect this then to the Yom Kippur liturgy. What does each metaphor teach us about what it means to grow? The different ways that we can grow, the ways in which we can be resistant to growth.
Yeah.
That we do have choice. Very interesting. Rabbi Bacon and I were talking. It feels funny to call Rabbi Bacon to you, Ellen, but Rabbi Bacon and I were saying it's interesting that we saw this as, oh, these are things that happen to us, not necessarily of the things that are that are in the choice. Beautiful. Love that different reading. Steve.
Reminds me of kind of like the four children in the Haggadah, where there are different ways to learn, and people grow in different ways. I'm struck by different materials have different limitations and possibilities. You can't make from water what you can make from steel. They're going to react differently to different methods, and sometimes you're limited by the material, and you just have to work with it to bring out the best that material's properties.
That we have to just saying this for the live stream, that we have to that every single material has different capabilities and different limitations, and so much of understanding.
And they empower us differently too.
And they empower us differently too.
Yeah. I saw Alan had a hand. And we'll get to Judy.
You asked in the very beginning, here we are as clay, and the refrain here, excuse me, look to the covenant, not our imperfection. If you've been to any art studio, when there is a result that's imperfect, there's always a heap of scrap, of the rejects. So we're not like these materials, because these materials have no neshama. Neshama cannot be discarded, no matter how imperfect we make them. So there's a
Love
different
that.
side to that same point.
Thank you.
That Alan is saying that if you go to any studio, you'll see all the scrap materials, but the difference here is that we're not discarded. God never discards us, and we might even say that perhaps God doesn't have the scrap heap at all, right? That all of these things that we would look at perhaps as imperfections in the scrap heap, perhaps we don't understand them fully, as the poem is saying that the Creator keeps working on perhaps what the flawed outcome may be.
Though I will quickly say, you're right, these materials might not have a soul and a neshama, but scrap is reused. And we don't need to get into this tonight, the recycling of souls, that could take a year in and of itself. But we could look at ourselves that way too, that if, maybe matter isn't destroyed, maybe it's repurposed. I love that.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I saw two more hands if we still want to take them.
Yeah, let's take it, of course.
Just not to perpetually be the scientist, environmentalist in the room, but I just feel, it reminds me, thou shalt inherit the earth, but it is our responsibility, the earth, and we live with it, not on it. And these are all parts of our earth and the physical properties of these parts and how it allows us to grow as individuals in learning and harnessing those physics, those are the things that struck me.
Beautiful. Yeah, go ahead.
Back to the idea about growth, I think that each of these materials, like no matter how they're changed, they still remain the same material. Like you still remain the same person. So despite like you can grow and you're reshaped, but you're still you.
Yeah, Judy.
Also, the difference is in the materials. Some is the differences in all of us. Some are so hard, like rocks are so hard. Glass is transparent. It's light. You see through it. The clay, you can mold clay. Stone, you can't mold that easily. You can chip away. It's just the difference in the materials are striking to me, and there's the differences in all of us. Some are a little harder to reach, maybe. Some are transparent and reflective. Glass can be reflective. They're very different. Each and one goes with
Thank you. These are such wonderful responses, and I would invite everyone online, if there are some thoughts that are coming to your mind, please write them in the chat, because we'll certainly go and we'll look these over. Wish that you could be part of this conversation in the rooms. Just want to say that.
So a couple of takeaways. We wanted to stress also that, yes, I agree with my mother. Have to. No. That we can change ourselves. Of course, we hope that prayer helps us do that too. But thinking about God as the primary shaper teaches us about humility, right? We spoke a lot about that. The humility required to accept the change that you might be faced with. And another, that teshuvah is truly a craft. It doesn't happen in one day. It doesn't even happen in 10 days. It takes a really long time, inch by inch. So in the coming days, as we stand humbled before the ark, we encourage all of us to continue asking ourselves, which material do I relate to in this moment? And which do I hope to be or to become? Rolled, stretched, broken, clay, or stone?
The first stanza only. Birzoto marchiv uvirzoto mekatzer kein anachnu beyadcha chesed notzer labrit habeit ve'al teifen la'yetzer ki neikach omer beyad hayotzer birzoto marchiv uvirzoto mekatzer kein anachnu beyadcha chesed notzer labrit habeit ve'al teifen la'yetzer.
As we continue thinking about the power of change, we turn now to the Mishaberach in hopes that our prayers can at least bring comfort to those in need of healing, whether of mind, body, or of spirit. At this time, as my eyes meet yours, please feel free to recite the name of your loved one aloud. Today, WRT is also holding in our hearts Binyamin Ben Ruven, Jennifer Leventhal, Jeffrey Millman, Malka Gila Batbina, Emerson Lorenzoni, Tova Bat Esther, Robin Weitz, Stephen Gilberg, Yochanan Ben Sipora, Judy Balsam, Ilana Bat Shmuel, Chaya Fege Bat Leah, Leah Bat Nina Bat Benjamin, Rachel Bracha, Matthew Atwood, Anthony and Elizabeth Dankner, Deborah Kapnick, Andrew Goldstein, Chava Batsara, Eliyahu Chaim Ben Fradel, Sheila Fried, Malka Tzipora Bas Rachel, Tamara Bat Malka, Deborah Greenfield, Lenora Galen Mendelson, Jenny Kaufman, Victoria DeLeo, Sophia Schenkler, Chris Rodriguez, Zachary Morant, Yitzhak Ben Sarah, and Heschel Meir Ben Davida Chana. Together, we turn to page 371 for the Misha Berach.
Of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Together we rise for the Aleinu, turning to page 586.
Aleinu nishabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו קהל, וגור עלינו ככל המונה. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד.
A meditation for Kaddish. There are 10 strong things. Iron is strong, but fire melts it. Fire is strong, but water quenches it. Water is strong, but the clouds evaporate it. Clouds are strong, but wind drives them away. Wind is strong, but the human body bears it. Human beings are strong, but fear casts them down. Fear is strong, but wine allays it. Wine is strong, but sleep overcomes it. Sleep is strong, but death is stronger, and love survives death. As we remember our loved ones, no longer with us in body, but those who remain with us in love and spirit, we rise in the following order. If you are in a period of Shiva, having lost your loved one in the past 7 days, please rise. If you are in a period of Shloshim, 30 days since the death of your loved one, please rise. If you are in a period of Shana within 1 year since the death of a loved one, please rise. And if tonight you are honoring a yahrzeit, the anniversary of your loved one's passing, please rise. At this time, if able, we invite the entire congregation to rise in solidarity with our mourners. Today, our WRT community is remembering those taken from us in recent days. Howard Aubrey, father of Jonathan Aubrey. David Globus, stepfather of Tracy Nathanson. Eileen Hyman, grandmother of Rachel Schmerin. Leah Klein, mother of Rachel Klein. Martin J. Finkelstein, husband of Freddie Finkelstein, and father of Ruth Finkelstein-Scheinfield and Will Stein. Dr. Charles Hatton, father of Jennifer Brooks, and Pacey Lavis, uncle of Alan Lavis. WRT is also remembering those whose yahrzeit is marked over this Shabbat. Marcia Aberly, Herbert T. Adler, Joseph Alderman, Roy B. Alper, Helen Altman, Samuel Altman, Essie Baliba, Harriet Benjamin, Charles Bernstein, Samuel Cascade, Jenny Casper, Sophie Cohen, Judith Shapiro Dietz, Sidney Dreyfus, Leah Shapiro, Jean Farron Baker, Sarah Feldman, Mary Figueroa, Marjorie Fogel, Jeanette Fox, Esther Friedman, William Gips, Neil Gorin, Arthur Grossman, Raymond Harris, Rose Hefter, Hertz Nathan Henkoff, Saul Hodis, Louis Kane, Marvin Kessler, Paul Krantz, Abraham Laxer, Lawrence S. Lease, Alan Mall, Sheldon Myman, Abraham I. Menon, Shirley Munitz, George Miller, Nelda Mungia, Murray Nowak, Nicola Pagano, Julius Peretz, Moses Pollock, Ann Reiter, Aaron Risen, Gilbert Rich, Florence Rice, Arthur Rylander, Henry Rogers, Barbara Rubin, Adele Wang, Arlene Weissman, Harry Weissman, May Wiesen, Phyllis Wishnick, Milton Witchell, Gail Zick, and Lauren Zweigel. If I have inadvertently mispronounced the name of your loved one, or if you are remembering someone whose name I did not mention, please recite their name aloud now. Together, we turn to page 598 for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bialma divra chiute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'yimru. Amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam ul'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yit hadar v'yit alev v'yit halal shemei dekudesha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechamata. Damiran bi'alma v'yamru. Amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael. V'yamru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael. V'yamru. Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu
ושלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל לאמרו אמן.
Cantor Sonosaur is slightly taller than me. I just wanted, on behalf of the congregation, to thank Rabbi Bacon and Cantor Sonosaur for leading a beautiful service this evening. Thank you so much. Quick announcements. Torah study tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in person in the Sifriah or via Zoom. We have...
We'll be here.
We'll be here. Torah study is here. And we have our Sukkot block party coming up on Sunday, October 1st at 11:30. And for those of you who haven't heard, next Friday's Shabbat is dedicated to Rabbi Blake's 20 years of service here. So if you haven't already, please sign up. It's going to be a wonderful celebration, and we look forward to seeing you all. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom.
And just as a reminder, we have Kol Nidre Sunday evening. Please look on our website for the timing of the service you have signed up for or on your ticket, whether you're in family services or adult services.
We'll close our service this evening with this sort of anthem for the season. Hashivenu, Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva, Chadesh Yamenu kekedem. Return us to you, Holy One, and we shall return and renew our days as in days of old. Would the congregation please rise?
And if you'd like to follow, we'll be on page 662.
Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Elecha, Yameinu kekedem. Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Elecha,
Return us to you, and we will return. I love that. Please join us as we recite Kiddush and Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu, b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron ma'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila le'mikrai kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'beratzon inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh Amen. Chaim.
L'chaim. So for the new year, we have a round challah. I still think I can tell you to wrap your arms around each other if you'd like to, although it's not a braid. But join us for the motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Shana
Tova.
Shabbat shalom works too. Shabbat shalom.